Chewy Mew, and welcome to my channel, but more specifically, welcome to another Chewy Mew review. But today we're going to be taking a look at a figure I got. I can't remember if I got it in stores at a yard sale. Honestly, I don't even remember getting this figure ever. All I know is that I have it. I have no idea how I got it. It might have been in stores, might have been a gift, I don't know. I don't remember how I got this figure. And this figure isn't a very well-known character. It's well-known in Frogman because, you know, Frogman sucks. And that figure is the Spider-Man Classics Buzzing Beetle. So, like I said, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea how I got this figure, where I got it from. Also, you might be able to notice there's not as much echo, and that's because my mattress is back in my room. So, does this even do anything? This light doesn't even... Look how dull this light is. Like, that's maximum brightness and doesn't look any different. That's dumb. But then I have this other one over here where that's how bright this is, and then if we put it on low, you see that helps a bit. It doesn't help too much, but it kind of helps when I do close-ups of these things, which I'm just using a... Oh, that looks really good right there. This review's turning out horrible. Okay, stay there, dude. Stop. It keeps falling over. That tripod has like a very loose leg, so it falls over. But yeah, so I have no idea how I got this figure or where, but I think it looks pretty nice. Every time when, like, because this figure is a bigger figure, I have to adjust where I put my lights, and so it's kind of inconsistent where I have my lights because some figures are bigger than others. But we got this guy. Take a look at the face right there. So the Beetle, I don't really know too much about him. All I kind of know is that he's a Spider-Man villain, kind of like Hulkbuster armor kind of. But hey, I think it's a cool figure. As a kid, when I played with this guy, I didn't know. I heard that he was Beetle. I have no idea where I got this figure. It's very forgettable to me. I think it looks really nice. It's heavy. It's pretty good size. But I don't know. To me, I don't know much about Beetle. He's not as bad as Frogman, because Frogman sucks. If you like Frogman, screw you. But yeah, so I played with him as if this was like the Onslaught Green Goblin. Only this figure, for some reason, that this was his like version of the Hulkbuster, where the Green Goblin would like put this armor suit on to fight Spider-Man. And I called it Beetle, which I didn't really care that this was Beetle. But either way, I'm crapping all over this figure. It's a pretty good looking figure, though, I think. It's pretty good. It did have a gimmick where you press this button here on the waist right here, on his ribs, I guess this would be. You press the button, and then it would make his eyes light up, I think. I think that's all it did. It would make his eyes light up, but the batteries died. And I also tried swapping the batteries that were in another figure that I had. Another figure that has a battery gimmick. I think it was Mysterio. I tried putting the batteries in here, but Mysterio only has 2 batteries. This guy takes 4 batteries, or 3, but, so yeah, he has too many batteries, and all the other figures that I have with batteries, the batteries wore out. You can see right there. The screws, the hole right there is a little bit big. I kind of stripped the bolt there, but it's a very nice kind of metallic green. Like, all the body parts are different color greens, which it's not a nitpick, that's just kind of funky. Like, you can see the legs here, they look kind of like ceramic-y kind of green, like very like shiny. The upper arm here is different color. The gauntlets on both sides, I don't know, to me the colors look kind of inconsistent. I think it looks pretty good. The shoulder pads are like a squishy, plasticky. I like the feeling of these. These are pretty nice. Then he has like nipples, like, and then he has like a bunch of these dot stuff on his head, which that looks pretty cool. I've only seen this guy on like a cover comic book, like this specific figure, but I think it looks pretty good. All the fingers have like these like laser beam kind of looking things to them. Pretty cool on all of them. Then he also had these laser missile fire things. You stick the missile and then you press this button to shoot them here. But, of course, I lost the missiles and his wings. I also lost his other wing, which this wing pretty much all it does is just cover these. These ones don't go in, because he has a gimmick here, which I'll actually show you what it is. You move this one out and then you twist this around. I think you twist it this way. I think you twist it this way, right? Then you press this button here. And now, did I twist it enough, or... How does it... You go this way? I don't know which way you... I think you twist it this way, right? Well, either way, the gimmick is kind of dumb. Either way, the wings just pretty much... They just pretty much do this. Like, they pretty much just, like... They pretty much just do that. Like, the wings kind of... I don't know, like... They just kind of... I don't really know how to... Why is it not working? Come on. What the heck? I don't even know if I'm twisting it the right way. Does it go this way? What the heck? No, I don't know how this works. Well, either way, the gimmick's kind of dumb anyway. No matter how much you crank it, it only moves like for 3 seconds. But this guy has a lot of cool detail to him, like all the texture there on the legs, kind of like hexagon looking pattern, kind of like looks a little bit reptilian to me, but it's kind of supposed to be like an insect. See there on the stomach. They do give this big gap here, which makes it look like he has a ball joint in the torso, but he doesn't, which to me that kind of makes sense. With a bulky figure like this, you don't really need a butterfly joint. He actually has an on switch here. I don't think turning that on would affect the gimmick. You turn that on, so then when you press this button here, the eyes would light up. Did they move? Maybe you have to have that button on for the gimmick to work. Maybe you do. I don't know. Let's see. This is dumb. What the heck? No. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? It's dumb anyway. I also lost the other wing somehow. So I looked for these figures on eBay, you know, to see like how much they go for and, you know, to figure out what they are. Like I looked up a Spider-Man Classics Beetle, and then this guy would come up. And so many of the ones they were selling on eBay, they were missing all of the wings and stuff. They were missing like these arm launchers. They were missing this shoulder pad thing, which, how do you lose all that, you know? Like, how do you... Oh, like I've seen Dr. Octopus on eBay too, where they're missing like the tentacles, or Scorpion where he's missing his tail, or Vulture missing the wings. That's just very dumb. This video is very weird too. But, you know, let's point out that he has individual finger movements here, which is not what you expect from a figure like this. He only has 3 fingers though, which that kind of makes me wonder, this is a human inside this suit. So, humans have 4 fingers, obviously. So, where's the other finger in here? Like, is there 2 fingers in like one of these gloves? And the same thing on the toes. These toes have individual toe movement, which that's definitely pretty good. But are there like all the toes in one foot, all the toes in the other, or is it like how does that work? But either way, take a look at the bottom of the foot here. This is Toybiz 2005, Marvel Entertainment, Toybiz Worldwide. The other one says Made in China. Pretty good. They're very big feet. Like if we compare like this guy's foot to like McFarlane Spider-Man, his foot is like the size of his torso. Which, you know, Spider-Man goes up against some crazy big punks, you know. We stand this guy up straight here. I'm going to move my camera like that. So we compare McFarlane, his body's like all crooked right there. Compare these two together. He's quite a height taller than McFarlane Spider-Man, which I think that's pretty nice. I'm glad that, you know, Toybiz, for villains, they go out of their way to make them a lot bigger. But either way, the texture on this guy is pretty good, like, kind of like a buggish, kind of reminds me of like the Sam Raimi symbiote Spider-Man costume, where it kind of looks like you know, like hexagon kind of pattern. That kind of has that here, which obviously this came before the Spider-Man 3 symbiote suit. See, like a bunch of little dots here. Even the gun has like some kind of like patterns on here and stuff. The gun is like a metallic-y looking kind of color. Like in some spots of the light, like right there, it looks brighter. In other spots, it looks darker. Like they painted the thing with like multiple different shades of green in here, which it makes it look kind of funky. Like in spots like this, it makes it look like, to me, it looks like the paint's like wearing off or something, but I think it looks like that by design. And the back doesn't really have too much noticeable for it, but I should turn to the front. I like that he has all these like dot things. I'm not too sure what these would be like I don't know what they are, but he has like a bunch of these on his body. He's got one there, got one there. I like that he has these things. Maybe it's just detail. He's got some kryptonite for shoulder pads. It looks kind of a little bit like a Lex Luthor suit, doesn't it? Like this part, this green like torso piece. I don't know. To me, it looks a little bit like Lex Luthor's armor, which I think that's kind of cool looking. Maybe they have inspiration, but you know, I think it looks really cool. As a kid, I used this as like a Green Goblin mech suit because I thought it looked kind of like the Green Goblin. You know, you have the purple, you have the green, kind of like even in a similar pattern. You know, purple gloves, purple underwear. Not a purple torso though, but like, you know, it has some purple on it and green, kind of set up like the Green Goblin. You know, it's so fun playing with these fingers though. Like, they're very big, chubby fingers, and they're really fun to move around and stuff. And the toes too, like they're really, like those are really fun joints. Like you compare those to like this guy's joints, where his finger joints, they feel really delicate. So you feel like if I want to like move these fingers around, these two fingers here get kind of stuck together though. I don't know why. But, like, moving these fingers around, they feel like they're going to break with how tiny his hands are. Like, they feel like they're very delicate and fragile. Unlike, you know, moving an arm, like, you're not afraid to, like, move it around and stuff. But these fingers, with how enormous these fingers are, they move almost like an elbow joint on some smaller figures, you know? So it's very fun, like, moving these around. Like, you can bend these around and stuff. It doesn't feel like you're going to break the pegs because how big the hand is. Like, that's just really nice. He can almost do a fist, but not really. And, pretty cool. You can do, like a peace sign. Not really, though. He can almost sort of do the Spider-Man shooting hand, but not really. But either way, I think this is a pretty good looking figure. Let's go over his articulation. The head looks up. Doesn't really look up much. Looks down pretty good. Rotates all the way around. The arms, this arm doesn't really go out at all. It's kind of stuck there. This one moves a bit. Like, that one moves quite a bit. Like, this one, I don't know why. Maybe something wrong with the plastic here, because it's not broken. Like, oh, it can kind of move, but this joint here, it wiggles a lot. Your rotation here in the upper arm, single bend in the elbow, rotation here at the start of his wrist right there. He has a hinge in the wrist, and then you can move all three fingers independently, which that's pretty good. Rotation here in the waist. Looks like he has a ball joint torso, but he doesn't. The legs kick up all the way, but they kind of twist sideways, so you can kind of like the Hasbro figures, like the older Hasbro figures, where you have to like rotate the joint to get your position. Like you have to rotate his leg to get him to do this. He can't do the splits, but you know, that's about as good as a Hasbro figure can do the splits, which, I mean, what does that say about Hasbro when a big bulky boy like this can do the splits? Rotation here in the upper thigh, double bend in the elbow, and then he has the foot goes forward and goes back. Listen to that hinge. Like how ratchety that hinge is. That's very nice. Very satisfying there. Like that's very satisfying too. And then the big toes, the big toe and the small toe move together. It's very good motion. Like they didn't need to give two individual toe movements. They didn't even need to give individual fingers. But I guess because how big this figure is, they weren't afraid to give, you know, articulation like that because it's not small enough to break, you know? Like, I feel like if you drop the McFarlane figure hard enough on the ground, you could probably break one of the fingers off, you know? But this guy, you could, like, throw this guy at a wall when you're mad, when you're, like, a 6-year-old having a tantrum, and you probably wouldn't even break the wing off, you know? But I think this figure looks pretty nice. I don't really have too much to say about it. I don't have, like, too many memories attached to this guy, which kind of sucks. Because it looked like a very awesome, fun figure. You know, I think a really cool-looking figure. As a kid, I didn't know too much about this guy, so I kind of just used him as, like, you know, a Green Goblin mech suit, like I said. But I think it's still a good figure. It's a really nice thing. It's pretty heavy. Actually, while we're here, I'm gonna take the Spider-Man Classics Man Spider, which I've already reviewed this guy, which I love this piece as well. Not much posability, but, you know, it's not what it was going for here. And compare these two side by side together. Spider-Man, his knees are bent, so he'd probably be taller. But here's a height comparison of these two guys. Beetle is a little bit taller than Spider-Man, but his knees are bent. So if his knees were bent, unbent, he'd probably be like maybe that tall. Also a very good figure. Comparing these two weight-wise, they're pretty similar. I think Beetle is slightly heavier. So let's move on for this figure. If you liked the video, you know, leave a like. Let me know what you think about this figure. Also, let me know if you what was I going to say there? I forgot. But yeah, either way, that's going to be all for this video. I will see you in the next one. I forgot to do why.